I'm cold, so I have to have my Sherpa. What the fuck everyone's talking about? Ew. Do you need some water? I just totally heard all this spit. Come ready. Okay, hold on. We're almost there. Hold on. It's getting there. It's getting there, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with you today. Hello. Maybe you start off today.
Oh, I'm gonna start it?
Yeah. Okay, you can't do it. Hey everybody, it's Lauren here.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are the coaches at Team Cosmic Bodies. And today we are going to be talking about coaching, or what's the topic? Like, what is the actual topic?
Just the topic is the title, I guess. We just kind of decided we were talking about different topics. So just like watch out who you hire.
Yeah.
And bad experiences you might have with well-known coaches or PEDs, using steroids for beginners with a question mark behind it. So yeah, I guess that would be the topic is that title right there.
Yeah, and because this has just been on both Kyle and I's mind, and we have a lot of clients that come to us, and we've been working with a lot of clients in the past and stuff, and people just share their experiences with us, and honestly, it just kind of blows my mind a little bit in a way that some of these coaches are just don't care, I guess, about these people's health, and they really don't even care about their longevity, really, after competing is over, and pushing these people in these extreme contest preps on these low calories, extreme cardio, meal plans, and also, hey, take these supplements as well to help you along the way. And I'm just like, especially like the supplement part, like the PED part, I'm just, wow, just mind blown about it and stuff, because it doesn't have to be like that at all, like a contest prep. It doesn't have to be so extreme. You do not have to take PEDs to get to the stage whatsoever.
So yeah, the title being watch out who you hire and PEDs for beginners. So just like she has been talking about, it is somewhat shocking, but not really. But it is interesting to see athletes and clients of ours or people we hear about in general, and they discuss this with us, just people who are beginners or amateurs, right? They're not necessarily like professionals in IFBB Pro League, and this is usually like bikini we're talking about right here. So amateurs, in their first competition prep, they get on, they hire a really well-known coach, and I guess that'd be the first thing we talk about is just watch out who you hire, because there are a lot of good coaches out there, there's a lot of bad coaches, and even though really well-known coaches, they could necessarily be good for certain people, but not necessarily good for amateurs and beginners. Because I don't want to like talk down on anyone negatively or say they're bad people or whatever it may be. Because it comes down as a team. Like you should be doing your research, and the coach has a responsibility, and you have a responsibility as an athlete and client. Yeah, we talked about this analogy as far as like if you look at public school football or public school sports or public schools in general, and then you look at like a smaller public school or a private school, their sports teams are vastly different from the genetic pool. So if you have a big pool of people coming to you, right? You're a really well-known coach. You have thousands and thousands of clients to work with, and you can just give them maybe a cookie cutter, I don't know, but you give them a meal plan, you give them low calories, you give them a certain training and cardio, a lot of cardio, you give them drugs, and and you only show the people that have done really good.
Because there's gonna be, out of those big pools of people, there's gonna be diamonds in there. There's gonna be people that have really great genetics, and that's just gonna respond really well to this plan that the coach is giving. So, and then I see these.
And they're not showing.
They're not show. Where's all the other people? Where's the other people? Where's not? Because a lot of them just show the ones that get their pro card, or the one that won the overall, or the one that just
winning the biggest shows in the world.
They're in the Olympia, they're professionals and stuff. But I think it's important when you're doing your research to find a coach to make sure they're showing all of their clients. And
not even that. It's just. I think the idea behind just watch out who you hire, and it's just they might not necessarily be the best coach for you and where you're at and your choices and preferences and lifestyle. So if you're an amateur, I wouldn't necessarily, because I hear this all the time, like judges, other coaches, other people, they say go to their clients and who are the ones winning, hire a pro coach. I mean, we've had people come up to her when I was coaching her last year and they're like, you need to get a pro coach, you got to move away from the amateur coach and get a pro coach. And that might not necessarily be false in a way. It just, the context matters that, there's certain habits and things you want to master first before going down the route of doing the most extreme things you could be doing for the sport.
And I talk to people, a lot, and sometimes they're deep into contest prep, and they kind of have this gut feeling oh, this isn't right, how much cardio I'm doing, low calorie, the supplements I'm on, but they're just they're so zoned in, because when you're deep into contest prep, you're gonna do whatever it takes, you kind of get numb to everything, and so I just have these women talking to me that they end up just following what the coach is telling them to do because they want it so bad. They've already, been in prep for 12 or whatever weeks, and they end up using or whatever because they're just, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so there's just different sides to this. Going back to kind of where I ended my last little phrase is you really do want to master the basics. You might want someone more personal. You might want that private school education. You might want something a little bit more custom in the beginning because you want to master the basics. You want to know if this lifestyle is for you. You want to know if you truly enjoy the training and the nutrition and the gaining and the cutting, and post-show you're doing really well and you don't really necessarily have a binging issue after a show, or you're sleeping correctly, you're training correctly, you're doing all these things correctly, you're building muscle, right? So if you have this nice foundation, and the basics going down, you've done a few shows, a few years in this, then you might want to move into that next step of being able to do performance enhancing drugs or something like that, if that's your goal, to be the best in the sport.
But you can't just rely on drugs, and I think we do see a lot of coaches out there, they do, they're relying on the drugs, which is not the case whatsoever. What Kyle's saying is you have to master the basics of it's all the nutrition and the training and the lifestyle and everything. And guys, I have been completely natural throughout my whole entire journey. I have never taken anything, Anavar or Clen or whatsoever, and look how far I have gone. And I feel like I really have mastered the basics here, and I can get in shape, and I can do well post-show and all of that.
And you found out you loved it, and you are able to kind of move up with it all. So you just gotta watch out who you hire out there, because I'm not trying to again talk crap about some of the big time coaches out there, but again, they just have a lot of pool of people, so it might not be as like personal and as custom for you in this relationship you can build. But it's also based on you and your research. You can't just like follow along and do what your role model's doing. They're at a different part of their journey than you, so you need to.
You can't just be like, I want to hire Miss Olympia's coach, or I'm just like saying, or a pro that you look up to in the industry. I want to hire their coach because I want to look like them.
Yeah, I mean, even the drugs aside, like just really low calorie, a lot of cardio, and really short preps, like a crash diet. I mean, it'll make or break you. So there's easier ways, there's more responsible ways. Yeah, you might need someone who's going to be more personal for you and what you need at your part of the journey. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain because I'm not trying to like diss these like top coaches necessarily.
We're not.
It's more so just like you have to do that research, and like let's say you do want to use performance enhancing drugs. We have nothing against that. It's more about like, hey, do you know the risks? Have you done a lot of like research? Have you had this like conversation with your coach about the risks and the health?
I think that's the big thing.
Have you talked to like really, thought about these things like for like a while, right? You master the basics and you thought about this stuff for a while, then move into that sort of thing.
You gotta be mature about it, and then like Kyle
said,
know the risks, and hopefully the coach is maybe educating you on why, what is this gonna do to me, but also the risks as well. I think that's like the main important thing.
And I guess the reason why we're saying this is because the people that we do hear about having bad experiences, and it's not just the training, nutrition, it's like, and the drugs, it's everything put together within a coach, not getting communication on show day, getting some cookie cutter thing, and just like getting diuretics or something a little bit more dangerous prior to show day that could possibly end, pretty bad. And honestly, other things that could happen with, again, if you don't master the basics and you would binge no matter what, like regardless of the drugs, and you're gonna binge post-show and gain a lot of weight back, and this sport is just not for you, and you just do that anyway, imagine doing the drugs and then doing all that. Then you might have some thyroid issues if you don't taper down certain things the right way. You might have...
I think it's important for a coach to
blood work
definitely be on you like a hawk post-show and helping you with that post-show. Like, that is everything to me and Kyle, is helping you post-show.
It'd be hard, honestly, to handle hundreds and hundreds of clients. Like, I understand the idea behind the meal plans and like just giving people a lot of cardio and like it works. But just
anybody can lose weight on a meal plan. Anybody, seriously.
So there's just levels to it all, and you might want to find someone who maybe has a little bit less clients, maybe uses a little bit more science or practical knowledge, and they have the experience, or they're looking out for your health and well-being and your thought process, and you guys have this open communication and relationship, so the plan can fit you. Like, some people might be a candidate to use performance enhancing drugs if that's their
But you have to have that conversation with your coach. And you guys have built this relationship. We have been through contest prep. We trust, you guys trust each other, and you want, I guess, take it to the next level, whatever. I just don't think it's right where it's just part of the plan, part of the sheet, the spreadsheet. You got to take this, and this. Like, these people, like these coaches don't even really like know these people that well. It's it's just,
Yeah, and there could have some serious negative effects in the short term, and perhaps permanent, damage as well. But again, this isn't like try to talk down or like scare you or anything like that. This is more so just like,
it's in here a lot. It's like in NPC, it's in bodybuilding. There are people are using, like, seriously, probably 70% at the national level are probably using. When you get into the pros, I don't know. 90 or 95%. I mean, the natties are just like, you know who's natty. They say it. They really do. They do kind of shout it out a little bit. You can see it too. Yeah, you know, Kyle and I are just here to educate you guys and just tell you about our experiences and sharing. So we're always going to share.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, again, levels to this, and you just want to be smart with the process and the lifestyle, and just don't hop on the most extreme protocol in all aspects of the process, because you might not be ready for it. Like, you can't just I'm not going to go in and do a workout that Jay Cutler is doing for his Mr. Olympia. I just wouldn't last in the gym. So he was at a different level than me at this point in my journey and his journey and other contexts. So that's another reason why you just don't want to follow some random training that you see.
You're hurt, you get injured.
Yeah. So yeah, just be smart, do your research, read a ton and really look into the people or the person you're going to hire, and just take it step by step, because I know it might seem like you need to do it now and you need to win now, but there's a process to these things, and things fly by. I mean, the sport, everyone's acting like bikini's been around a while. It really hasn't. It's been 10 years. So, I mean, which is a long time, but not really. I mean, you do have time.
Yeah, you do,
have time
and it's not about rushing so much. I just see some people just rushing. Like, I want to get the pro card. I want to go to the Olympia. Right after their pro card, it's Olympia, and it's just there is stages to this.
That's when honestly, whether you're using drugs or not, that's when the fatality goes up. Is I see people who, they're amateurs and they do one show and then they keep going and do another show, and then they try to go to nationals when they're just not going to do well anyway. And next thing you know, you hear sad stories about people possibly getting hurt from dehydration or diuretics or heart attack or something going wrong. And I don't know, they just it's you were an amateur. You should just do that one show, recollect, and then go to the next step if that's the route you want to choose. So
see how far you can get, seriously, naturally. See if you even have potential to make it to that Olympia stage. I mean, see if that's what I suggest. See how far you can freaking go naturally, and that work that you put in, everything, and then if you have a chance to be top in the world, or Miss Bikini Olympia or something like that, then
think about it and do more research and understand the risks, and again, really understand this is my goal, this is my priority.
These people are sacrificing themselves, seriously, they're sacrificing themselves for this sport. I mean, it's beautiful, it's incredible.
Yeah, but there's risks. I mean, that could be a whole other video as far as slowly, having some male traits if you're a female and turning into a male over a 10-year, 15-year period of doing this certain thing, or if you're older, if you're an older woman hitting menopause earlier in life, there's just, so, I mean, there's a lot more risk than that, but just make sure you're really looking into it and finding someone who knows that sort of stuff, okay?
Yep. Okay, guys, bye.